We did our presentation on natural disaster prevention. We all feel very strongly about this subject as a whole because of things like Hurricane Katrina and Hurricane Ike that come through our cities and wipe them out as a whole. It affects our people, it affects our buildings, it can just completely ruin societies. We know we can't prevent the storms from happening, but we can definitely take safety precautions to limit the storm's effects and keep our society intact. And here's what we're going to do.
Now we're moving on to define the problem. How are we going to prevent the severity of natural disasters such as hurricanes, tsunamis, and earthquakes? How are we going to warn people and limit their effects?
The sources we used for these problems were http://www.helpguide.org and www.encyclopedia.com.
The consequences of natural disasters amount to numerous things. Number one, people die. That's obviously a threat. Right when people die is a serious thing. Number two, the economy is taking hits from the amount of money we have to spend to help repair everything. All the buildings destroyed, all the bridges, everything that is wrecked by the storm is all hits the economy and the government has to fix. So that automatically makes more money the government spends. Houses are destroyed where people live and people are left homeless and there's no homes. So that's another thing. And then lastly, people's lives are just completely ruined. People lose family, houses, and everything important to them can be ruined through a storm. FEMA is doing everything they can to help with the storm disasters by building levees and such, but that's not enough. FEMA needs to step their game up and start helping us more and more.
Alright, setting criteria. Anything that helps with storm prevention and awareness. Potential solutions. Storm Prevention Fund. By starting storm prevention donations all over the country, we could help save lives. Potential solutions would equate to stronger building codes by getting us more money in order to fix the buildings and in order to find out ways how to warn people faster than we do now so they will have more time to get out of the city so we can save their lives. And another thing is mandatory evacuation. If there is a natural disaster, the people in the area that the disaster will affect should be forced to evacuate until the threat is gone. That means under any circumstances you cannot stay in those cities.
Upon evaluating the suggested solutions, there wasn't anything that we found that didn't fit the criteria. So here's our solution for it.
Our solution choices are, we plan on focusing on the people that live in the hot zone at a disaster to leave. We're making a mandatory evacuation for their own safety. Some people want to stick around with their house, their possessions, their family, but that's just not safe enough. We need them to leave to prevent deaths, injuries, and people just being stranded at their houses that are needed for rescue. If we don't have to worry about anyone in the hot zones, that automatically saves the government tons of money, and that saves people's lives. Second of all, we need to change the building codes to make the buildings sturdier. When there's buildings just falling over like trees and stuff, that obviously is not helping our money situation as the economy. When we have stronger building codes and everything's not wrecked, we'll be fine and we're saving a lot of money. So we change on changing the building codes. Third of all, we plan on starting a national fund disaster for emergencies like this. For hurricanes, earthquakes, we will get these funds through our national taxes by raising it 1%. We know no one's gonna like this, but when you've been through like Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane Ike, you know it's necessary and you know we need it for our government's sake.
Here's more solution choice. This is how we're going to demonstrate how the solution meets the criteria. Our solutions will meet criteria by the fact that they help people find awareness of the storms. These solutions will also help and have few negative outputs. So therefore, since there's few negative outputs, there's more positive outputs than negative outputs. So that will work well.
On implementing the solution, the tasks will be done by first changing the building codes for new buildings to make them stronger. Second, to give a national mandatory evacuation for everyone who's in the danger zone. And third, to raise taxes by 1% to go to the emergency disaster fund that helps pay off damages from hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires, and tsunamis.
Last of all, implementing the solution continued. Tell how the tasks are going to be done. We would go through the government and show them our research and show our solutions will work. And for an obvious problem that needs something to be done about it, the government shouldn't have a problem in implementing it with us and staying by our side to help them. And who's responsible for the task? FEMA is responsible because it's in charge of the emergency funds and whatnot, so we're putting them in charge of everything, but we're giving them the ideas to do it. And then identify when and where the solution will be implemented. Hopefully soon to prevent further disasters just in case something strikes there. So obviously our situation about storm disaster is a big deal. I hope our presentation showed you what can be done and what will be done to give the world a safer place and let our government be stronger.
Do you have anything to say?
I'm good. I think we covered it.
I think we covered everything. This is Clayton Sparks.
Brett Mankey.
And Lane Watson.
Appreciate
We're
it.
out.
How do you pause this shit?
How do you pause it?